Yeah, let's go.
It's actually have 1 minute left.
Okay.
Okay, let's start. Hi everyone, it's Sophia from Numbers Protocol. So glad you could join us. So today we're getting into the cool stuff where AI meets blockchain. Here's the plan. We're gonna chat about why AI and blockchain are a big deal and touch on some techie details and give a shout out to our partners at Instill AI. And then we've got a live demo for you. So on the stage today, we have Ethan, our developer community manager, and Pinglin, founder and CEO of Instill AI, and Xiaofei, COO of Instill AI. So now, even though we are live, we are a bit tight on time, so we're skipping the live QA. But please don't hesitate to drop your thoughts and questions in the chat. So we will collect them all and then share more in the live stream video description after the live stream. So, and after all the agenda, we will have a quick survey after the call. So if you send me the survey, a secret gift will send to you after the webinar. So all right, let's jump in. Ethan, take it away.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to this AI meets blockchain webinar. As Sophia mentioned, my name is Ethan and I'm a developer with Numbers and I'll be giving today's presentation. As mentioned in the intro, we'll be discussing AI and blockchain at length and then going into detail on how to create generative AI content with blockchain provenance using low-code tools. The presentation will be split into 4 parts. First, we'll share why AI and blockchain are even a thing. Then we'll follow that up with a brief sharing and dive into the technologies involved in the showcase, so Numbers Protocol and Instill AI. After that, we'll have a live demo. And just a reminder that while there are some technical elements to the demo, I think you should be able to follow along, and seeing the final result will be very helpful in seeing how AI and blockchain can work together. Finally, we'll wrap things up with a summary and then next steps. Okay, so with that agenda out of the way, let's get started. So like a lot of things, technology operates on trends. So today we're in the midst of the generative AI trend. And unlike previous trends in the past few years, this one appears to be here to stay. What you see on the screen are a few images created by AI. With just a few words, AI is able to create lifelike photos, cartoons, and scenes in just a few seconds. Not limited to images, generative AI's ability to create video, music, and human-like text has many people clamoring to leverage its abilities to streamline their work. The excitement is real, and AI stands to reshape many industries. However, it's not without its concerns. I think it's common in the tech industry to innovate and then ask questions later. So this mentality is what allows us to innovate quickly. However, it also creates issues that often rear its ugly head after the fact. Generative AI is no exception. So while it presents a lot of great benefits, its mainstream adoption also highlights and exacerbates a lot of existing problems. Let's address some of them. So while AI's ability to create lifelike images can create laughs, such as the image of the Pope in a puffy jacket, it can also be used to proliferate misinformation. So in May of this year, as an example, an AI-generated photo of the Pentagon explosion caused public panic and briefly affected the US stock market. And also deepfake photos, such as the one of Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky surrendering, can also have even more serious impact. So misinformation has existed before. However, generative AI exacerbates the issue by offering more efficient and capable tooling to execute the misinformation. So at the center of the issue is the lack of transparency and provenance. We don't know the origins of the media files. Is it edited? Is it AI generated? Are the stories in context or out of context? How can we confirm the stories? If there are fact checkers, what are the metrics for the reliability? So going on to the next one, it's kind of obvious, but generative AI generates content, and content generation is one of the defining features of our web today. With countless photos and videos being shared to the web daily, it's not uncommon for your Instagram photo to find its way onto Google Images, onto Pinterest, on someone's profile picture, or even on this webinar without them knowing. So generative AI content stands to experience the same issues as human-generated content, except it's supercharged because of how efficient AI can be with creating content. So at the center of the creator-related issues is a lack of ownership, license, and attribution. So when I see a photo, can I definitively say that the one who posted it is the creator or owner? Even if I wanted to do the right thing, how do I know what I'm allowed and not allowed to do with the photo? Okay, so this last issue is more exclusive to generative AI. So for AI models to work, they need to be trained with data. However, currently there are issues surrounding non-permission use of training data. So StableDiffusionLitigation.com outlines an ongoing lawsuit from notable artists such as Sarah Anderson and Carla Ortiz against Stable Diffusion, DeviantArt AI, and Midjourney for their part in utilizing artist creations as training data without their consent. Elon Musk made similar claims with Twitter data, and individual creators have also voiced their displeasure with their artwork being included in data sets without their consent. So all these claims point to something we'll classify in this presentation as irresponsible AI and a general lack of data provenance. So we're nearly a year into generative AI. So what can we do about all these issues? Will we just go down the inform users route and hope for the best, or will we have something a little bit more concrete? Luckily, in the case of generative AI, we believe we can address some of these issues with blockchain. So blockchain's immutable and traceable nature makes it ideal for addressing the traceability and provenance issues tied with generative AI. Let's take a closer look. So this slide summarizes the issues and potential capabilities of blockchains side by side. So for issue number 1, no transparency and provenance, blockchain offers records that are immutable and remain searchable via on-chain records. For issue number 2, no attribution, ownership, or license, we can utilize blockchain to record these values and again, can be looked up to verify. And finally, for issue 3, non-permission use for training data, we can establish training permissions and store them on the blockchain to assist AI in selecting and filtering out potential training data. At the same time, it offers users a way to control their data by giving them the ability to establish whether or not their creations can be included in data sets. So with blockchain and generative AI being complementary technologies, the question then becomes, what's the best way to execute recording this information on chain? Thankfully, that's where Numbers Protocol comes in. So Numbers Protocol is an open source decentralized network that ensures provenance of digital media created by humans and AI. We do this by delivering accessible, trustworthy, and verifiable content. So at a high level, we index digital media with content ID, which is then used to query on-chain data stored on the Numbers blockchain. Doing so will allow us to create comprehensive histories and enable digital media to stand alone and represent themselves. Capture, protect, publish make up our authenticity ecosystem and ensure that assets in our Numbers ecosystem have the full provenance coverage. So with capture, we collect, sign, and seal metadata associated with the creation of the asset. With protection, we create immutable on-chain records, making the assets traceable and verifiable. And then finally, with publish, we empower creators by giving them the ability to define their own licenses and data permissions. By taking our authenticity ecosystem and integrating directly into the generative AI pipeline, we can create traceable and verifiable AI. So what you see on this slide is an overview of what that looks like. So from the user side, they would prepare the wallet and then the AI model and then use the AI model to generate the image. From there, the image, along with some relevant information, is stored onto the blockchain. So while all this sounds good, how and what information is stored is important. We can't just slap all this information onto the blockchain and randomly and just hope for the best. Some design is needed. So that's where EIP 7053 interoperable digital media indexing comes in. So Numbers, we've been in the digital provenance space for a while. dating back to when fake news was the primary narrative, so around 2019. So we have quite a bit of experience in this area. Our experience culminates in this EIP, which summarizes basically our entire process of indexing and then retrieving histories. Let's take a look at one of the main design concepts, registration. Oh, and as a side note, if you're interested in this EIP, we'll have the link to it shared in the chat, or we'll also have it listed in maybe the VOD description. So, okay, so back to the EIP 7053. On creation, if you look at this flow diagram, on creation, we have the original file, and in the case of generative AI applications, the generated image, and then some provenance metadata. So this can include things like, when the creation was created, who created it, the creator name, and for generative AI related information, it can include things like what AI model was used, what prompt was used, etc. So the original file is then indexed with a decentralized ID. We'll call this NID. And together with the provenance metadata, it's recorded on-chain. And we call the act of recording on-chain committing. So this design functions kind of like a library system where we can query the assets and its record simply by looking up the NID. And content IDs are unique, and they also serve the role, as I mentioned before, of looking up the records, and in some cases, they can serve the role of detecting duplicate registrations. So let's move forward from this flow diagram and see what that actually looks like on the blockchain. So here we have an on-chain commit on the blockchain. So on the left-hand side, you can see a screenshot of the transaction on Numbers Blockchain Explorer. You'll notice that there's an asset ID over here, and it's starts with BFY, and then the ending with JEMA. And under the call function, you can read the commit details, and I've enlarged the content on the right for you to see. So some interesting fields to highlight include, the asset tree CID, the author, the timestamp, as well as the action name. For this particular commit, it's just a general commit. And if we look at the asset tree CID, we can actually view the full metadata details. So that's this. So this is what the full metadata looks like. And they're listed in files we call asset trees, which represent the asset properties. So let's take a look at a few of the highlighted items in yellow. So we have the asset CID at the top. This is what we use to query the records. We also have defined the creator as well as the license. So you can see over here, there's a license with a CC BY NCND 4.0. And we also have this the supporting documentation, creativecommons.org, license, and then legal code. And the final two fields are data source type and mining preference. So these are AI related, and training algorithmic media signifies that this asset is created by AI, and then AI training signals that this asset can be used for AI training. So while many blockchain enthusiasts are adept at navigating blockchain explorers and navigating transactions, I think most of us appreciate something with a bit more UI UX. So that's where Numbers asset profile comes in. So you can think of it as like the images or assets LinkedIn profile. Here we have an example on the screen now, and you can see like on the left you have the image, and then on the right we have the same metadata from the previous slide, but listed under provenance and detail sections. So you'll notice that highlighted there's the NID, the creator, and then there's generated by mining preference. And then at the very bottom, there's a table that shows the full list of commits, and then the links with links that link to Blockchain Explorer transactions and metadata files. Okay, so developers participating in this webinar probably may notice that we use like terms like asset tree and commits, and if it reminds you of Git, then you would be right. Our entire data provenance design, which we call NIT, is inspired by Git's version control. We like to think of NIT as a Web3 Git. So if you're interested, there's an open source repository It's an open source repository on our numbers protocol GitHub. Feel free to check it out whenever you have time. So now that we've covered data provenance side, I think that brings us to Instill, who are the first to integrate numbers protocol into the generative AI workflow. I'll pass it over to Pingling and Xiaofei to give you the intro on Instill AI and most importantly, give you the live demo.
Okay, cool. Right. Thank you, Ethan, for the short intro. Hello, everyone. This is Pingling from Instill AI. We feel privileged to have this opportunity to collaborate with Numbers Protocol to realize this idea about blockchain for generative AI. At Instill, we are building the backbone for all sorts of AI applications. We provide no-code and low-code tools for our users to construct their unstructured data pipelines. These pipelines are crucial because they are basically for an AI system to rely on to process unstructured data and apply all sorts of complex logics. The collaboration with Numbers for applying blockchain to AI is only possible by the flexibility and the extensibility design of Instill VDP. VDP stands for Versatile Data Pipeline, which is an open source project maintained by Instill AI. My co-founder Xiaofei will share with you some real demos in a minute. If you'd like to give VDP a try, as mentioned, it's open source, and you can quickly set it up at your local machine by git clone and switch to your repo folder and just type make all. If you want to serve or import custom AI models to process your specific unstructured data, you can also set up Instill model to help you do that. By the way, we also provide Kubernetes Helm chart if you'd like to self-host Instill VDP and Instill model. In case if you don't want to bother about the hassles of the development, the hassle of the deployment or the infrastructure provisioning and maintenance, the easiest way, I will suggest, is to give Instill VDP a try is to access Instill Cloud directly. Since Instill Cloud is still in open alpha, everything is free now. All we ask from you is your feedback. For any coming feedback, thank you very much in advance. Without further ado, Xiaofei is now going to show some real demos for using VDP and the Numbers blockchain to implement data and the AI provenance. Over to you, Xiaofei.
Okay, let me share my screen. Just 1 second. Can you see my screen? Okay, cool. So hello everyone, I'm Xiaofei from Instill AI. So welcome to the Instill Cloud platform where you can explore all the features of our open source Instill Core project. To get started, you can simply go to this Instill Cloud platform where you can find the link in the chat and just simply register or log in with your email account. Here I'm going to use my account. So Instill Cloud allows you to create AI applications for processing unstructured data such as text, images, or audio by constructing AI pipelines. So you may find the UI is different from the shared tutorial because this is our latest no-code pipeline builder we just released this week. So here I have pre-created this pipeline that leverages the large language model to enhance the text prompt and generate these images. So it connects to the OpenAI GPT models to assist in rewriting the text prompt for diffusion models. Let's just try out a quite simple prompt here by testing it. So here a cat just wears a flower crown, just a very cute image. So while we are waiting for this, the figuring the pipeline and waiting for the readout, let's just take a moment to observe what is the VDP pipeline. So a VDP pipeline is composed of various components on the canvas. So each of them serves a distinct purpose. So starting with this start operator, you can define what kind of input field you want for your AI application. And quite similarly, for the end operator, you can define what output field you want to receive for triggering this pipeline. So besides, we have built and maintained integrations with popular model providers such as OpenAI and Stability AI, or blockchain tech services like Numbers Protocol. Okay, here now you can see the let's just see the end operator here. Okay, so this is the generated art from my prompt, simple prompt. This is the generated art from the large language model, the improved prompt. As you can see, the art generated by the OpenAI prompt follows a specific style. And how did we achieve this? So here you can see that by carefully creating this system message, we actually feed a lot of those Stable Diffusion prompt into the to guide OpenAI's GPT model to generate a well-defined text prompt for generating those images. So you can see here, it just follows a Disney-inspired art, cartoon, and joyful and whimsy. Yeah. So of course, you can write a personalized system message to generate more powerful prompts that, for instance, can produce multiple images with predefined styles. And then there you have it. You have created a large language model or powered art generator application. So let's just dive into the exciting part. I'm going to show you how to create an application that uploads the AI generated image art onto the blockchain using Numbers connector by integrating with the Number protocol services. So before we begin, just ensure that you have created the account for both Stability AI and Numbers for this demo, and also created this resource on Instill Cloud. It's quite simple. You just simply put the API keys for Stability AI and the capture token for Numbers protocol. Okay, let's navigate to the pipeline page and add this pipeline. Okay, first we will start with the start operator, which defines the data fields for the user's input. In this case, I'm going to use the prompt generated image. Let's just type here prompt. So here I converted into an array of text, basically because the Stability AI accepts a list of texts as prompt. And let's just save it. And I want to add another field to serve as the creator name. So here it will be the I will use my name as the creator for the when I upload this generated AI art onto the blockchain. Just save it. Okay, we're done with the start operator. Now let me show how to set up the Stability AI connector to generate the image. So here I'm going to simply show some, let's just change the name to shorter to make it simple. So here I'm going to show you how to configure this Stability AI connector. Let's choose the text to image and use 0 to random generate the image. Some configurations for the diffusion models we use. Let's choose this powerful model from Stability AI. Start and prompt. Okay, so what is fascinating here is that, let me save it. You can see that you don't have to manually draw the connection between the components. Instead, you can use this curly bracelet to reference other components, the fields on this canvas, and the platform will automatically establish the connections for you, providing this visual representation of the video journey. Okay, now let's add the Numbers protocols connector here to support uploading the generated image. Okay. So here for the images, we're going to use the Stability's output images as the images to upload to the blockchain. And for the creator, we're going to use the start operator's creator name, reference this field. And for this abstract, you can see we're using this long string. So this is generated by Stability AI's input engine, which is the model's name, model we use for generating the image, using prompt as start prompt, like the first element. So in this abstract section, you will notice that we use this double curly braces as placeholders for values that will be dynamically filled in at runtime. So this feature is useful for embedding string variables in text field. So generated through Instill Cloud, and generated by Stability AI's model name. So for this license name, let's just choose a quite promiscuous one called just 1 second. So called the Creative Commons. So this license will let others to freely adapt and build upon your work, even for commercial reasons. So this is the license document we're going to use. Let's just save it. Okay. So the end of let's deal with the AND operator here. So here, so this defines the desired output of the application. In this case, we want 3 fields that the, just 1 second. We want 3 fields that we want to receive as response. So the first, of course, is the prompt I use. Let's just use prompts. We refer to the start there, prompts. And the second one, I will use the generated, refer to the generated images. I say it images as the output, the images, which is this field. And the last one, which is the asset URLs. It is the numbers search and search engine URL for where this generated image upload is to. So just use here is the blockchain one output asset URLs. Okay, let's just save this and put it onto the test mode. So here I'm going to create this this AI generated art. Just putting my name as the creator name, and for this prompt, I have prepared this quite well structured prompt. So this is to generate a cute. Let's just run it. Okay, so this basically generates a cute office room with filled with office chairs or desks or monitors, and also a golden retriever with the Barbie style. Let's just see how it works. So while waiting for the result, this step is quite crucial because, as you may see, that we built a fairly complex pipeline, and this by testing it visually, this can help us to verify whether this pipeline works or performs as expected. So Instill Cloud supports this, we call it a visual testing, allowing you to put in whatever input field you have defined for the start operator and test it out. And you can observe how each of these pipeline components just populate the input and output for them. Okay, let's just see this output. Okay. This is cute. So so here you can see that this is the number search engine URLs. Let's just copy and go explore that. Okay, let's just wait for a while. I think, as Ethan pointed out previously, this page contains the AI generated image on the left, and all the information for creating or generating this image, including such as the creator, the details, like the license we use. We can see it, yeah, here is with my name, and the license we just used. And quite interesting, this metadata we can see here. So this is important because it shows the power of generative AI meeting with blockchain, as it records all the details necessary to create this image with the prompt, the generated platform such as this, our console, and also here like even the pipeline or the pipeline details to recreate this image. So basically, it includes who, when, and how this image was generated. This ensures the data's verifiability, traceability, and security on the blockchain. So yeah, let's go back to this page. So okay, in this demo, we have successfully constructed this AIGC and blockchain application using Instill Cloud and the Numbers Protocol services. So by harnessing the power of this pipeline, you can now effortlessly create, register, and verify your AI-generated content on the blockchain. So I hope you enjoy this demo. So please visit console.instill.tech, register an account, and try it out by yourself. Thanks. Yeah, let's just go back to Ethan.
Okay. So big thanks to Xiaofei for the live demo. Super cool. So let me just bring back up the slides. Okay. So just a recap for the demo. So just as to mention the prerequisites. So as Xiaofei mentioned, you will need to, it's not mentioned in this slide, but you need to create an account with Instill Cloud. And on top of that, you'll also, for the commits to work as expected, meaning like you want the asset trees to reflect that, you know, the commits are associated with your own wallet address. You also need to create a capture account or have a capture authorization token. So this is available with the creation with the capture account, and we won't cover how to do this and get the capture authorization token in this presentation, but we do have a Medium with full instructions on how to do it. And I think the link will be either shared in the chat or they'll also be shared in the VLD description. So just to summarize just the entire thing, we used Instill VDP, a low-code tool, to create a stable diffusion pipeline with Numbers Protocol integration. Creating the pipeline takes in, you know, text-based prompt, and then we're able to create, by just taking in a text-based prompt, we're able to create a Numbers Protocol registered asset. This registered asset has an assigned content ID and accompanying on-chain records committed onto the blockchain. And we can view these records by searching on this Explorer or just viewing the asset profile directly. So if you miss any details, there are still a lot of awesome resources available to you guys. So both the Instill team and the Numbers team have worked hard to create documentation. And there's also a written and video tutorial available online for you to check out. Yeah, if you missed anything. So I think the links to these will also be shared either in the chat or in the VLD description. And yeah, definitely check it out and share it with your network if needed. So moving forward, I think while our partnership with the Instill AI is super awesome, there's still so much stuff to do. We're still in the early stages. So as you can see, locking provenance on AI generative content onto blockchain, we see that as just the first step. And the next step is to allow AI to read user-owned data sets on the Numbers network in a manner that respects the consent of the content owners. So that's the second layer to the whole generative AI, addressing the whole generative AI issue. And beyond the collaborations with AI, there's still so much more going on. So additional provenance, it's for a while it's been a little known issues, but it's but over the recent years it's starting to pick up steam. So projects such as, you know, Reuters 78 Days and Rolling Stones signal a shift in digital provenance prioritization. So these project collaborations were initiated by our other important partner, Starling Lab. And there's so much to say about Starling and our collaboration with them, but I think that will be a whole sharing on its own. So maybe we can have one of these in the future. But anyways, we'll definitely continue our work in the data and digital provenance space, and continue to try to play our role in supporting the efforts to achieve trustworthy digital media on the web. Also at Numbers, open source is one of our core tenets, so we strive to collaborate with the creation of industry standards to ensure seamless adoption. And to that end, we'll be pushing more EIPs to establish more solid open standards. The next two are aimed at the digital source type and mining preference. Actually, the EIP 7517 is the first Ethereum improvement proposal focused on content consent for AI and machine learning activities. And it's actually currently under community review. So if you have time, you definitely take some time to feedback, as your feedback is vital as it can influence the future development of Web3 and NFTs. I think we'll also try to leave the link to this EIP in the VOD description. So if you're interested after this call, you can definitely take some time to review it and leave a comment. So I think that's enough about us, Numbers. So how about I just pass it over to Pingling to share what's next for Instill AI?
Well, of course, yeah. So basically, we'll be continuously working on the no-code UI of Instill BDP to make it more user-friendly and robust, and to push BDP from the current open alpha to beta. Meanwhile, we are also consolidating the documentation, SDK, and a CLI tool. We hope to have the beta ready in the coming Q4. So please feel free to join our Discord community to chat in real time and get updated for the future releases and announcements. Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, so I think that concludes our AI Meets Blockchain talk. So at this point in time, I'll pass it over to Sophia for some final remarks.
Okay, thanks Ethan, Pingling, and Xiaofei for the insights and demo. So we are shaping the future, merging AI and blockchain to foster a more transparent digital world. So you can find the complete slides used today in the live chat and also in the video description. So you can find all related links in the video description as well. And if you can't find any links you see in the live stream, just leave a comment, then we will provide it later. And your feedback is invaluable and will help us to improve for the future. So before we end the call, please fill out the survey in the live chat and share your feedback with us and receive a gift NFT as a token of our appreciation. And if you'd like to learn more about Instill and Numbers, here are the contact details and website for both Numbers and Instill. For any questions or business collaboration proposals, please reach out to hello@Instill.tech and hi@numbersprotocol.io. So if you are interested in exploring our GitHub repositories, the link is also on the below in the video description. Thank you all for watching and interacting in the live chat with us. We will have more AI plus blockchain related events in the coming months. So stay tuned and let's keep making waves. Hope to see you in our future events. Thank you all. Bye.